So, Steph and I are pretty jazzed. We are planning our next big through hike. It's going to be a great section hike on the Appalachian, but if you're like me, just planning your hike, looking at it, well, half the time that's just not enough. And that mountain calls you. And, you're not in the situation to just take up and go for days on end on trail. So sometimes you got to get that good day hike in. You just got to make time and just go hit the trail for a day. And you may be saying, well, I don't know where to start, or maybe nature, I don't know where to go. Well, for me, I find nature everywhere, and luckily all I have to do is look outside. Just starting out on the trail. Beautiful fall woods here in Pennsylvania. Yeah, right in the beginning of October. A little bit rainy, but that's okay. We're gonna get out and see how the day goes. Now, when I started today, I had hiked about every portion of this trail that I knew I was going to be on. It comprised of the Chicory Trail, the Laurel Run hiking trail, and some roadways, and some dirt track and gravel track. I had never done the whole thing as one continuous hike, and I was really looking forward to see what kind of circuit this would become. I set out today early, and even with the rain, I knew it wouldn't be too much of an issue, and I was actually looking forward to getting out and seeing the mountains covered in fog, and I really, really was hoping that this would turn out the way that I thought it would. Whew. This is the first climb of the day, and it's pretty much just straight up. You get that first good gain in elevation and get one of the tougher climbs right off the bat. But we're gonna see what the mountain looks like up on top. So it's wow, starting to rain a little bit. I fancy myself in pretty good shape, but coming up the side of this mountain here with as humid as it is, man, it's no joke. It is very, very pretty up here though, and starting to get some fog. Might be foggy up on top. The leaves are changing, birds are chirping. All in all, it's just absolutely beautiful out here. We made it. Up on top of the first climb. Coming out to the power line now. I thought it was going to be foggier. Not that way it is. But our trail goes this way. And there's a really good view right up here. This is one of my favorite places to be up here this time of year, because the views are they're just spectacular. Alright, let's see how this view unfolds. I love how the clouds just linger on that mountainside. You see there's a little orange dot up there, and that's where we go back into the woods. And on our return hike, we will be on top of that far ridge, and we'll be coming down looking back this way. But that's miles and miles and miles ahead, so let's keep going. That's a pretty fresh rub. That's a young buck right there. We'll see if we find any more. But I mean, I know it's wet, but this is fairly fresh. This is his first year, probably, trying to get a territory. He's going for scraps and little trees, but hey, you gotta start somewhere, and maybe he'll grow into a monster one day. Maybe we'll get to see him. As I moved out along the ridgeline, the forest was absolutely wonderful. I had a beautiful canopy overhead, and on the trail floor it was just fallen leaves and thick grass. Made it very comfortable and easy walking. And as I slowly started to descend, I knew that I was going to be coming out to the power line, where I made a very steep descent. This trail is steep, wet. All right. Next, we're going to be going down and then up over that whole ridge. You can hear the power lines crackle. All right, well, let's go. I love getting down on the power line. I mean, the only thing you have down there, the giant metal robots holding up all the lines, and the chaff grass. It's just a really very cool grass. I don't know much about it, but whenever it's dry, it makes a very excellent fire starter. And it is very picturesque whenever you can get large patches of it. This was the second major climb of the trail so far. It much more forgiving than the first one, but nonetheless, you gain some pretty steep elevation right away. And over the banks, I mean, they're about sheer. This path here was going to take me up to the highest point on the trail, probably around 2,200 feet, which isn't quite at the full summit of this mountain, which is either Rager Mountain, Dashong Mountain, Chicory Mountain. It goes by many names depending on who you ask. But I saw that if you went off to the side here and you weren't careful, if you slipped, man, that is steep. Pennsylvania may not be known for the height of its mountains, but just their sheer steepness and how straight up and down the valleys and ridges are make it very tough to hike in, but nonetheless, it creates beautiful backdrop scenery, and I was excited to move on up ahead. The terrain has changed yet again as we get up into this old strip mine. Some of the pines are absolutely beautiful. And I guess this was their best attempt at restoring the land. I'm not sure when this strip mine was in operation, but it is super thick in there, very scrubby. trail's about completely overgrown, and it is thick. No animals yet, just some birds, but yet to come across any like real wildlife. Alright, that's a pretty good rub right there. Let's see if he's hitting a good sized buck. It's the biggest one I've seen so far. He's got hit up that little one too. You can see how blazed it is. Let's go check this out. Oh, this is super cool. I feel like I'm on Pride Rock in Lion King. Be a really cool place to lay. There's probably another one underneath here too. Creek way down the bottom. That's a good ways down. Back to the trail. Made it to the road for the game lands. I'm gonna follow this, I think a mile or so before I dip down back into the woods on the other side of the trail. All in all, I'm about 5 miles in right now. Pretty good pace, so just gonna keep moving. I'm up in the cloud now. This is about right up here. The road's gonna veer off to my right, and it'll be about the highest that I will be in elevation on my journey, although I still have a lot of up and down to do, so I'll be curious to see what my elevation for this trek, what my elevation gain for this trek was. But it's really peaceful, and the fog and the mist make it very comfortable, so I'm actually pretty glad for this weather right now. So my mile on the road is complete, and the trail is right up here. The crows are giving me a welcome back to the trail. All the birds are making an absolute mess of noise, but here's our trail, so back in we go. I'm about 6 miles in, so about I don't know, maybe halfway at what I think I'm gonna end up doing today. Maybe not. Won't know till the end. Going down now. Just came off of the top. I was probably the highest that an elevation I was on trail by around, like I said, I think it's around 2,400 feet, which isn't bad for PA. We're not known for having the tallest mountains, but they are steep. And right now I am going down. I don't know where I'll be, but in elevation, but this is quite fairly to say probably going to be the lowest point that I'll be on trail. So just came all the way up to the top to go back down to the bottom, and then we're going to cross again and go up another ridge. But the woods are very, very pretty in here as I head down into this bottom. Down in Pine Bottom now. I just love how whenever you go to different elevations and areas on the mountain and in the valleys, how different the terrain is, what trees grow where. I always found it really fascinating, and it always breaks your hike up and just makes for really good scenery along the way. And I always enjoyed watching the different changes in terrain. This is looking like a great little spot to stop and make myself some lunch. Beautiful laurel tree, nice big pines, excellent little stream, very calm and peaceful in here. Birds are just going crazy. I think this is my spot. So I'm getting my water boiling, my little lunch spot, and what I decided that I'm going to do is, after I got my my lunch there, I think it's a breakfast one actually, should be pretty good I hope, is I'll get that mixed up, I'll put it in my insulator pouch, and I'll keep on walking while that just takes its time and cooks, and I can get more ground covered while my lunch is being made. I'll find another cool spot, and then I'll enjoy my meal. But yeah, this is pretty nice. I'm enjoying myself here. Those two hills will be my next obstacle to conquer. I gotta get up and over that ridge. This is my trail to do it. It's up there. It's up there. So that's where we're going. Ridge ahead. Oh, no shit. Very cool. Very pretty too. That's very picturesque. I love when it's overcast like this because it really, I don't know what it is, but it really brings all the colors out. Man, that's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty awesome up here. Finally made it to the top, and I think I'm gonna chill here for lunch. That's absolutely wonderful. sit up here in the breeze, listen to the birds, and look at the mountains. Found this little guy out in the wild. He's responsible for mowing the gas line, and I've seen these little things in action and they are pretty cool. I'm getting near the road, which I'll have to take now for I don't know, 2 to 3 miles is my guess. And I'm gonna come down here and see if they have any updated maps whenever I pass the stand. Gotta love good old state forest. Got me my updated map. There we are, Blitzen State Forest. They have a couple other maps, and that's the trail. There's the road. That's like a postcard. Greetings from Pennsylvania. Out to a power line, so probably a viewpoint. It's awesome, you know, whenever you get up on top of the power lines. I mean, yeah, you have to look at the giant metal monster men, but the views from up here are just spectacular. So I'm hoping this is a good one. As we come out. All right, not too bad. Let's see. One's not necessarily the greatest. That one's, yeah. Okay, so this one's not super great, but nonetheless, back down the trail. Back in like the, just weird, this is a clear cut area, so either strip mine, logging, could have been an old farm. There's a lot of old farms up here that are completely gone, so I would not be surprised. It's just odd when you come into a clearing like this and just wonder what was here. Hard to tell, but this is one of the steeper descents on the Chicory. We just started coming down, and this goes down. I guess you could say all the way to the bottom. But it is steep. And the wet leaves make it a little slick. So trying to take my time. Man, is it ever pretty today. Way up on the top of that ridgeline up there, that's where we were a couple hours ago. It's absolutely just wonderful to be up here. This is one of my favorite spots on the mountain. Just seeing you get to see the contour of the valley, the hills. It's a beautiful pocket, and we're gonna go down in there. Went up to the second bridge of the day. This one falls at mile 11. Oh, rocks got me. That's pretty. As you come off of the second bridge on this trek, you wind up and around and down this little gully, and you come across the third bridge, which crosses Laurel Run. And this is a really great picnic spot. I love coming down here just to relax. I hardly ever see anybody out here, and I really like it that way. Although you will see signs of people. Like somebody here stacked a stone on this post, so I was obliged to continue the trend. I've added my stone to the collection. We'll see how tall that gets over who knows how long. I don't know how many people come back here. I really never see anybody. All right, we are about to come back to where we made the first climb today, but that's where we started. Oh man, that was a bear this morning, but we did it, we made it. It's a great day trail. Get on out there and go hike. It doesn't have to be an extreme adventure or some crazy destination. There are trails everywhere. What I use is All Trails, and I highly recommend it. You can navigate. That's how I tracked my hike today, and it gives you hiking ideas and options, so I highly recommend it. I've got about 1.25 miles to go, and this one's in the bag.